Good morning, children. This fine morning, we are going to discuss about changing the earth. Our changing the earth. This is the topic number 3. Topic number 3, changing the earth. So, in this chapter, what we are going to discuss is how earth is going to change. What are the factors? All those things we will discuss with the help of extra marks. Let us watch.
This module includes introduction, movement of earth, endogenic forces, exogenic forces, work of river, work of sea waves, work of glaciers, work of wind, and recapitulation. Have you carefully observed the land around you? Is it the same everywhere? No. We can see a lot of diversity around ourselves. At different places we find mountain ranges, deep gorges, plateaus, plains, etc. How did this happen? These variations are due to the natural forces acting inside the earth. Lithospheric plates. The topmost layer of the crust of the earth, lithosphere, is broken into a number of plates, known as the lithospheric plates. The characteristics of the lithospheric plates are: there are currently 8 major and many minor plates. These move around very slowly. The movement is in circular motion. This movement is in turn caused because of the movement of the molten magma inside the earth. It causes changes on the surface of the earth. The earth movements are divided on the basis of the forces which cause them. These forces are of 2 types: endogenic forces and exogenic forces. Endogenic forces, the forces which act in the interior of the earth, are the endogenic forces. Exogenic forces, the forces which work on the surface of the earth, are the exogenic forces. We shall study each of these forces separately. Endogenic forces are further subdivided into southern forces and dystrophic forces. Southern forces, it includes volcanoes, earthquakes, landslides. Dystrophic forces, it includes mountain building.
You see here endogenic forces, that is sudden forces and dystrophic forces. Sudden forces due to volcanoes, earthquakes and landslides, whereas dystrophic forces like mountain building.
Endogenic forces. Chief characteristics of endogenic forces are: these originate deep inside the earth. These factors are caused due to the convection currents in the mountain and the movement of the lithospheric plates. Sometimes the endogenic forces produce sudden movements and at times low movements. Volcano. A volcano is an opening on the surface of the earth or crust that allows hot, molten rock, ash, and gases to escape from the interior of the earth. The following animation will give the detailed volcanic activity tends to form volcanic mountains over a period of time. For example, Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania, Mount Fuji in Japan. Have a look at these series of pictures to know the various forms of volcanic destruction. Test yourself. What are the forces which act in the interior of the earth core? The options are A. Endogenic forces, B. Exogenic forces, C. Frictional forces, or D. Air resistance forces. The answer is A. Endogenic forces. Explanation. Endogenic forces originate deep inside the earth. These are caused due to the convection currents in the mantle and the movement of the lithospheric plates. These forces sometimes produce sudden and slow movements. Earthquakes. The movement of lithospheric plates causing vibrations on the surface of the earth is referred to as an earthquake. Have a look at the figure given below. Let us watch the animation for better understanding of the concept.
An earthquake is a natural
Seismograph. A seismograph is an instrument that detects, magnifies, and records vibrations of the earth, especially the earthquakes. Richter scale is a mathematical formula which determines the strength of waves recorded on a seismograph. The resulting measurement defines the exact size of the quake. Let us have a case study on the earthquake that happened on the 26th of January 2001 at Bhuj in the state of Gujarat. Here are some particulars of that catastrophe. Date of occurrence 26th January 2001. Time 8:46 a.m. Magnitude 6.9 on the Richter scale. Epicenter 23.6 degree north latitude and 69.8 degree east longitude. It occurred 20 km northeast of Bhuj and 110 km northeast of Jammu. One of the worst to have occurred in the country during the last 180 years, for which the seismological records are available. Approximately 20,000 people were killed. Over 6 lakh people were rendered homeless. Damage estimates in US dollars was about $1.8 billion. Have a look at the effects of the earthquake with the help of this series of pictures. Earthquake preparedness. Safe spot. Under a kitchen counter, table, or desk against an inside corner or wall. Stay away from fireplaces, areas around chimneys, windows with shutter, mirrors and picture frames. Be prepared. Spread awareness amongst friends and family members and face any disaster confidently.
landslide can be defined as the movement of a mass of rock or debris down the slope under the influence of gravity. Landslides are caused by the following factors: Ground causes, which includes weak, sensitive, or withered materials, adverse ground structure, joints, fissures, etc. Morphological causes are ground upliftment, volcanic, tectonic, etc. Erosion, wind, water. Physical causes constitute prolonged precipitation, earthquake, volcanic eruption, thawing.
See here, landslides causes due to weak, sensitive weather materials, adverse ground structures like joints and fissures, and morphological causes, which includes ground uplift due to volcanic activities and tectonic movements, erosion due to wind, water, running water, glaciers, etc. Whereas if you take the physical causes, it related to prolonged precipitation, uptake, volcanic eruption, and tornado.
The two regions most vulnerable to landslides are the Himalayas and the Western Ghats. However, compared to the Western Ghats region, the landslides in the Himalaya region are huge and massive. The landslide-prone area of India are shown in the given map.
Himalayas and Western Ghats. Most of these landslides occurs in the following two main regions. One is Himalayan region, another one is the Western Ghats. Especially if we take in India, the landslides occurs in India. Map of India you see here. The entire Jammu and Kashmir region and the northeastern direction, that is along the Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Meghalaya, etc. So that means which occurs mainly in the northeastern region plus northern region of India.
Let us now move on to the exogenic forces. The forces which work on the surface of the earth are called exogenic forces. The surface of the earth is continuously changing by two processes. One, weathering, and two, erosion. We shall know about these processes separately in the following slides. Weathering, breakdown and alteration of the rocks and minerals at or near the surface of the earth is known as weathering. Converted into products that are more in equilibrium with the conditions found in this environment. Climate, chemical actions, and vegetations are some of the reasons behind weathering. Erosion. Influences behind erosion are either gravity, or natural agents such as water, wind, and even ice and glaciers. Transportation and deposition of weather materials is a continuous process. We will now study about the erosion and depositional works of the river, sea waves, glaciers, and wind in detail. The work of a river. Running water in the rivers erode the landscape. Course of a river. Nearly all the rivers have an upper, middle, and lower course. Upper course. The main characteristics of upper course are as follows. Usually begins in the hills. The river is smaller and usually has a rapid, tumbling flood that cuts a narrow channel through rocky hills or mountains. May roll along large boulders in its swift current.
Children, now we have been watching this video, the chapter related to the changing of the earth, how it is changes. So due to various forces, and exogenous forces or endogenic forces and exogenic forces. At the same time, come to here, if you take the rivers, so work of a river classified into three important forces: upper force, middle force and lower force. So we have been discussing about this upper force. Let us continue with this remaining middle force and lower force next class. With this, we will wind up. Right?